So, how do you see the political base of Trump trying to criminalize all the immigrants? What is the normal day in your association? What do you see? What can you tell us that we're over here at the other side of the border? What is the normal life or the daily life of a migrant in the United States?
Well, I could speak for the Latino immigrant. Most of the people that we represent in our churches are immigrant Mexicanos and maybe Central Americans and some South Americans. It's the majority, pero casi todos son Latinos, right? So I can tell you that the moment Trump won, it sent a desperation throughout our communities. I saw young people who are born in the country, who have parents that are undocumented. I saw the fear rise in them more than before. So there has been tension, stress, and heightened in our country, especially in our Latino neighborhoods. And many people will say that Donald Trump is an idiot, or he's stupid, or he's a clown, or whatever. I've said that too, but he's not. He uses the issue of the caravans or the wall, the attack and demonization of Mexicanos. He uses that in order to build his base throughout the country of white supremacists, racists, and he manipulates that base. And because electoral politics in the United States, you may know because you lived in Texas, right, is not based on really the popular vote, it's based on the electoral vote. And they've gerrymandered all of that so that it still stays in the hands of the Anglos. They still make the decisive vote at the end of the day, because it's not how many people voted for Trump or Hillary Clinton or whoever's going to run, or Obama. It's really the states, how they are, and they're gerrymandered to still leave the decisive vote in the hands of those that are white. So we saw that in the last campaign. That's not going to change in the next election. But many of our people have great hope because we've seen other things occur, like we've seen Latinos taking positions of power and decision-making, like state representatives or mayors or things like that. Right now we have Congressman Chuy Garcia. He just won the election, so we have great hope because here's a Mexicano nacido de Durango, un migrante ahora que va a ser por primera vez el congresista, ¿verdad? So those things are happening at the same time. So there's great hope, but there's great desperation because we've seen our families separated because of deportation, and under this administration, it's happening faster. Even though Obama deported more people than Trump, but Trump is doing it faster, so he's going to get there. He's going to deport a whole lot of Mexicans, and he's got an attack on the Mexicans, and he's going to do that. He's going to do that if we don't are able to stop it.
What could be the strategy for the Latino community? What can they do? What can they really do in this scenario?
Well, first and foremost, those of us that are descendants of Mexicanos and stuff like that, we need to be more political. We need to start to run for office like Chuy Garcia did, and we need to get in position so that we can change the demographic map, so that we have positions of power. We have to change the way the voting takes place in the United States so that we have our own power. We have to elect, we have to have congressmen, we have to have mayors, we have to have people in those positions, or like-minded people, you know, that support our position. We have a lot of people that give us a lot of rhetoric. Democrats, same as Republicans, they use the Latino and kind of use them, and then we vote for them, and then the stuff that they promise us is never realized. So that's why we need to be there, and we need to educate ourselves to vote. We got a lot of young people that were born in the country that are the descendants of immigrants, undocumented people, braceros, and they don't even vote because they say, ¿por qué voy a votar si las cosas van a seguir igual, right? Well, you're a citizen. You have a privilege and an obligation to improve the conditions for your family. So we're asking them to do that, but we're also asking them to organize mobilizations in the streets and have press conferences and basically make accountable those people that we have there. And if they don't do what we say, change them. There's a lot that is being done right now. There's a lot of hope, but there's a lot of fear. I have a woman living in my church because she has 6 U.S. citizen kids and a U.S. citizen husband. She's never broke any laws. Never broke a law, didn't even get a parking ticket. But because she filled the application out incorrectly, her husband was sponsoring her for legal residency. And she found herself, they told her she was a liar, and she was asked to be removed from the country. So, and we fought that for 16 years. And under Trump, now everybody's a priority. He says he's going after the bad hombres. No. Él está siguiendo la mujer que está trabajando, que ya está casada con un ciudadano que tiene un montón de hijos ciudadanos y todavía no ha quebrado ninguna ley, pero la están deportando. ¿Por qué? Porque es una campaña en contra de la gente de color, porque ellos ya se sienten amenazados como gente anglosajón que tiene menos de un hijo.
The white people,
yeah,
you
white
refer.
people are so frightened of that the people of color are taking over, and we're in the majority very soon. They want to see how they can destabilize our families. It's still the colonization mentality still exists. And then we have the mentality that some Mexicanos think, well, we should support the Anglos, the white people, and not the black people because we don't have anything. You know, all of those games are still being played. When we have so much in common to the African Americans suffering in the barrio as the Latino, but there's not that unity that can build it, and the poor white person that is being utilized or manipulated because they're being told we're stealing their jobs.
So we're talking about a war, again, a war with ignorance, poverty, makes all this mixture where we have a supremacist in the prison, in the White House.
That's how it was done, because we were, if you look at the last election where you had someone, a socialist, right, who was running for president, and a woman for the first time, and an African American person, whatever. You see, like Obama had just left, so everybody's stinging from a black man in the White House. So the white Anglos are feeling, oh, this didn't work for us. So, and then you get an election where you have, what's his name, Bernie Sanders, socialist, a woman, Democrat, Hillary Clinton. And then you got all, you know,
Those were all the fears of the electoral base of Trump.
Absolutely. And then so that he was able to galvanize that, you know, and people fell into the trap because after it was after Bernie didn't win the primary election, then some of the left couldn't support Hillary Clinton, so they didn't vote. So, you know, those situations continue to play out because we don't look at who is really going to suffer. I looked at it, let's save as many families as we can from deportation. She's going to do way better than Donald Trump. If we were with Hillary right now, we wouldn't be in this situation, right? But many people said, I'm not going to vote for her because they were with Bernie, so they didn't vote, and that hurt us. So we have to learn from those lessons, I think, and keep our eye on the prize. It's really to change the conditions for the majority of the people that are marginalized and suffering. And that's what we do. That's what the Bible tells me to do. I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor, but at the same time I see how that's also being used in the Bible by Sessions and Trump and stuff like that. And I tell always them, you know, that Jesucristo fue un migrante, Él fue refugiado. ¿Cómo vas a tratar a la gente, las viudas, las mujeres, los huérfanos, hacerlos huérfanos, hacer las viudas cuando no lo son? You know, so we have to continue the struggle. I have great hope in this historic time because of Mexico. México ha hecho un cambio. No sé cómo eso se va a desarrollar, pero Estados Unidos se está moviendo más a la derecha, it's moving more right, and Mexico, for whatever reason, is now taking a step a little to the left. So I'm like, you know, I have hope. So, and for our families at home, you know, and those of you here in Mexico that have, you know, relatives or living in the United States, we have a struggle on our hands, and we can do this together, but we have to unite our forces. And when they do get deported here, we need to have an organization, political structure to receive them when they're here, so that they don't come back destitute. Because they've been sending remesas. They've been helping sustain the economy in Mexico. Debemos también darle ese como respeto, ¿verdad? A la vez, you know, like, there's something to be said. Why does everybody leave Mexico? Right now, they're not leaving Mexico. The migration to the United States is less now than in decades, right? Why? Because the conditions of the United States are not all that helpful, you know, for them, and the stress of being deported is high. And I'm assuming that Mexico is becoming more and more conducive to having people stay here, or at least people want to stay to change and improve the conditions here. So I have high hopes for both countries, but am I scared of Trump winning another election? Most people say he can't win. Hey, we said that last time, right? And I don't see a lot of the things changing. There's a lot of women that are now taking power and being involved in the elections, and that gives me great hope, because I feel like we as women, we don't look at whose team we are. We look at who's going to better support our families. So, you know, I'm hopeful for the people on both sides of the border right now. So somos un pueblo sin fronteras.